Hello everyone, and welcome to a second royal reading of today, a Friday, here at MadWorldTarot. And I'm carrying on with what I'm calling data capture today, a second reading on this story. If you want to know the ins and outs of this data story involving someone on Twitter called Sarah Data and Dan Witten, and the Byline Time story, and the fact that Dan Witten has now been exonerated from some very serious accusations and is now suing. It's all explained at the start of the preceding video reading. So I'm going to do a Celtic cross now and look at the story to do with Dan Witten and Byline Times and this data person and the Sussex squad. I'm going to look at it. I'm doing a Celtic cross with the Tarot of the Abyss. There it is, Dark Tarot. I'm going to look at this from Harry and Meghan's point of view because, like it or not, they are implicated by association through the Sussex squad, allegedly. Let's throw one of those in, and it applies to the entire reading. Through Harry's lawyer, David Sherborne, through a witness in Harry's phone hacking, illegal information gathering case. Someone by the name of Dan Evans. If it all makes no sense, please do go and watch the previous reading. But I'm going to look at this because there is some speculation, because Lady C has come out so in such a strident way in her recent YouTube video, sort of implicating Harry and Meghan in all of this. There is some speculation that this is the big comeuppance for Harry and Meghan that Lady C has been referring to repeatedly for some time. And she said it wouldn't come from royal sources. She did seem to indicate it would come from a journalist, a reporter, a writer. And here we are. We're almost in the spring. And this big story has now broken. Dan Witten exonerated, Harry and Meghan possibly, as I say, by association, might be implicated in something very unsavory and possibly in some litigation, defamation proceedings, which Dan Witten has, he's at least threatened to institute against Byline Times and various other parties. So that's what we're talking about today. And Celtic cross coming up. Let's remind you, very important to remind you that this is just tarot for fun and entertainment. This is all speculation. This is all rumor. This is all just my personal opinion. I just read energy here on this channel. Archetypal energy. We know how Meghan Markle does appreciate a good archetype. And so I read archetypal energy because we're dealing with archetypes here in the royal family. The archetypal family, of course, in the world. And disclaimer in the box below. See what we've got as an underlying energy. We have the Hermit. That's interesting. It's interesting because Harry's energy is looming large in these readings. It loomed large in the previous reading as well. Very interesting. So his energy is showing up. Hermit. That's Harry, Virgo energy. One of the possible aspects of the Hermit that we talk about in these royal readings is his signifier, his major arcana signifier. And of course, his association with this case is through his lawyer, David Sherborne. And Lady C was very emphatic that David Sherborne had a lot to answer for. She was very specific about that. And she was really came out guns blazing, aimed at him specifically, Harry's lawyer. So this has a lot to do with Harry, really. Interestingly, it's also about advice. The Hermit card. It's about who you listen to, who you trust. Do you trust your own inner guidance, or do you listen to the people around you? So there is something here about advisors as well. And again, according to Lady C, David Sherborne might be in a whole lot of trouble. That was her opinion. We're going to throw allegedlys all over this reading and remind you about the disclaimer in the box below. We're reading from the Parkles perspective. Heart of the matter right now. Dan Witten cleared, suing. for his reputation, for damages. We have the Four of Cups. It's not big yet. I don't think that they have realized how big this story potentially could be, because it's indifference. It's apathy. Harry, of course, he's got bigger things going on in his life with the visa saga in the United States right now. Meghan has been very busy since she got back from Canada, out and about having lunches and dinners, and seemingly carrying very expensive handbags around with her. No, I don't mean Harry when I say handbag. I just mean what you would call a purse. In America, I would call a handbag. Very expensive, very specifically priced and identified. One might almost suspect her of merching. So she's been out and about, being pepped by one particular photographer and sold through the agency of Backred to the Daily Mail. She's been a busy girl since she got back from California. Maybe doesn't have time to pay attention to what is going on in this court case. Maybe just hasn't realized yet. Four of Cups. Or apathy, indifference. What is the problem right now? Ten of Cups is the happy ever after, happy families narrative that they are telling us about themselves. And it might be that if the story gains traction, and Dan Whitten does go ahead and sue, and the Parkles are implicated, that whole house of cards might come tumbling down. And we're so sweet and we're so darling and we're all rainbows and you know, unicorns and all of that sort of stuff. No, that whole sham aspect of themselves might be exposed. That's what's coming to me as a tarot reader, reading the energy of the Ten of Cups in this particular reading. So what's going on behind the scenes? Is there a bit of a panic on, or are they busy with other things and just right now don't? What's going on behind the scenes is the Queen of Wands. As I said, she's been a very busy girl. She's been out for lunch with that Claire Wright Keller, who designed her wedding dress and has now fallen from grace and is having to basically start her career from the ground up, out in some very shabby looking trousers with the hem unraveling. Not a good look for someone who once headed a very high-end fashion house, shall we just say. So the Queen of Wands is busy out and about, enjoying herself, being packed, getting out of limos, getting into limos, in her inappropriate clothes, very heavy evening wear for a lunch, in quite a balmy California day, wearing a very heavy winter coat, and then in for an evening meal, luxury meal, it was described as, with Oprah's producer. She was there in quite a sort of scruffy daytime jeans and sweater outfit, all very weird, but she's enjoying herself, merching and being seen. The lady that lunches and also dines with movers and shakers, if you can call those two particular people movers and shakers. I don't think her eye is on this sufficiently yet. What's going on goals for the Parkles? We have the Emperor in reverse. That is the royal family, the Emperor. It could also be Dan Whitten. And the desire to destroy him. That's possible. He was very much an opponent of them. He was always calling them out on stuff. So the takedown that they might still be very focused on, still wanting his reputation trashed as a dominant male, in the sense of a celebrity, in the sense of someone who was a news commentator, a news presenter, a news maker at some level. There's that. But also, again, I'm getting this stronger feeling that their focus is elsewhere. Their focus is really on the royal family, on the fact that King Charles is wounded at the moment, somewhat incapacitated. That's still that notion of opportunity. I did a reading on it yesterday. Opportunists knock was the reading. Where's the gap? What can we grab? How can we insert ourselves into the story? How can we insinuate ourselves back into the royal family and grab the headlines and grab the power and stuff like that? So far in this reading, am feeling that this is about that attempted power grab or status grab or whatever it is, and their minds aren't really on this. They might be waking up to this now, because certainly in the usual places where I go reading and looking and pondering, those people are waking up to the story now because of Lady C and what Lady C has been saying. And both of these readings that I'm doing today are based on what Lady C has said and are interpretations of what she has said, energy readings on what Lady C has been saying, just for clarity again. So past and Dan Wootton and Byline Times and this person who's provided all this information, a couple of people. What's been going on? 3 of Pentacles, teamwork, collaboration. It's been a group effort. This takedown of Dan Wootton was a group effort. As I say, various sources came up with the juice, the scandal, the gossip, as it turns out to be, lies about him and his private life. The one of them, this Sarah data person on Twitter who has been identified allegedly. I don't know who precisely she is, but she has slipped up and exposed herself and her true identity, allegedly. And this Dan Evans character and various other people. This was a collaboration, this takedown, this character assassination. It's very intentional character assassination. 3 of Pentacles. So that's what the tarot is telling me, the energy of the tarot. What is coming next? From Harry and Meghan's point of view, are they going to wake up to this? Are they going to panic? Are they going to be implicated in court proceedings? What is going to happen next for them? And we have the 5 of Swords, and it's in reverse. They are going to be implicated in conflict with that 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords is literally about conflict, fighting with people, struggling. It's about victory and defeat. In reverse, it is a defeat. And so I think there is going to be difficulty for them. It's not terrible. This is near future. We're going to look at outcome for them. And is this the big story that Lady C has been alluding to for a long time? And she's kept shifting the goalposts in this big story, I have to say, as well. And so a lot of people have really lost faith in her sources and in what she really knows and all of that kind of stuff. But 5 of Swords is difficulty, embroiled in conflict, controversy. They are going to be. It's not Major Arcana, it's not the Tower, it's not Justice, it's not any of those big cards that we might like to see. Given what Dan Wootton has been through and given what allegedly the Sussex squad have been implicated in, lots of screenshots, lots of documenting their involvement in this, and they're spreading the story around and stuff like that, and their hateful behavior towards people on social media who've been trying to expose some of the injustices around the Parkles, shall we just sort of call it like that. 5 of Swords is uncomfortable energy. 5 of Swords in reverse, defeat possibly for them coming up. How do they feel about the fact that Dan Wootton has been exonerated? Because someone who's very close to Meghan Markle, for instance, Myra on Twitter, was crowing mightily when Dan Wootton was taken down. Absolutely crowing. So how do they feel about the fact that he's now been cleared by the Metropolitan Police? King of Cups in reverse, that is disappointment energy, unhappiness, emotional mastery when it's upright, being calm, even when you are surrounded by stormy seas. The King of Cups is someone who is comfortable with emotions. He can express emotions. He can control his emotions. In reverse, when cups are in reverse, emotions that run riot, they're out of control. So I do suspect with that card, and sorry about the lawnmower that's going next door suddenly, Hopefully it's not too distracting. But when cups are in reverse, it tends to mean that emotions get the better of you. They go out of balance. There can be tears, there can be tantrums, there can be sobbing on the floor. So I don't know what sign Dan Whitten is, whether he's a water sign man. He could be, actually. Don't know. I should have looked it up, didn't think to look it up. I was trying to get my ducks in a row with trying to explain the story and get on top of the story as it all happened. Hopefully I've got it right. If I hadn't, apologies to the people involved. Let's see what pressure the Parkles are under, if any. At the moment, as I say, they seem to be like, well, so what? 4 of Cups, who cares? What pressure are they under? Ace of Cups, we're getting cups. We're getting this popularity card that keeps showing up for me. This need to connect with people. This need to become popular again. Look at me, I'm out merching, I'm out having lunch and dinner with all these powerful women. I can be Diana. It's Megan energy more with that Ace of Cups. Love me, you know, love me do. Ace of Cups. Not really the kind of pressure that I would expect from the way Lady C was going on, and from the way people are talking about this case, and from all this situation. Let's not call it a case. I don't think technically it is a case yet in the legal sense of the word. But it's more about, I want to be loved and adored and popular, and I want to go royaling again, and which is why we've seen her giving video pronouncements to the animal charity that she left a few years ago. She's no longer a patron of Mayhew, but here she is opening a new wing and talking about someone who died tragically, trying to connect with people emotionally. I think she's been given instructions by her team, if there is even a team at this point, that she needs to engage with people at an emotional level, and so she's not noticing this. So it's weird. I can't tell you how weird this energy is. Hopes and fears around this situation, this story. Here we go, 5 of Cups. So there is something in between the look at me, Queen of Wands, and the love me do energy. There is this 5 of Cups energy of, oh no, regret, sorrow, wish that that past thing hadn't happened. So there is something sitting there. We've got 2 5s, and they're difficult ones. 5 of Cups and 5 of Swords. 5s are about change, destabilizing, conflict, coming up against things that are difficult. And so we've got conflict in their future, in their near future, and possible defeat, getting entangled in an ugly situation. The 5 of Swords is always an ugly situation where people, it's a hollow victory in terms of its energy of winning at all costs and then living to regret it. 5 of Cups. So they're worried that they might have gone too hard against Dan Whitten and gone too far, and now, or that their people around them, let's not accuse them directly of having done anything untoward. So let's just reword that for legal reasons and say that they might be worried that people around them got carried away and went too hard in a situation that needed maybe some more finesse. And I'm trying to finesse this too. Tricky. 5 of Cups. Outcome for them. Is this the big comeuppance, or is it something else? What's going to happen in this story for them? And we have a Page of Pentacles in reverse. That's not big. It's losing deals. It's losing negotiations, contracts, stuff like that. It's news. The Page of Pentacles is communications. It could cost them. It could cost them contracts, deals. This isn't a big Tower moment. This isn't the end of the Harry and Meghan story. Not here, not now. Because I think that they are implicated only by association, and possibly the people involved are going to have to pay quite a price. But they themselves directly in the story, no, not with Page of Pentacles in reverse. As I say, it might tarnish their brand. That would be Page of Pentacles in reverse, whatever is left of their brand. They have just branded themselves, reimagined themselves as the Sussexes, and of course the squad goes by that name. So there is the association, and the squad was very involved in fundraising and spreading the story and gloating and carrying on. And so it might be unfortunate for the new website and the hope of doing some light royaling, Emperor in reverse. There it might cause them trouble, Page of Pentacles in reverse. But this is not the downfall. Not as far as I can see it, not from the energy that's in here. They view it as insignificant, which is why we have the Four of Cups at the heart of this reading. Their problem in this situation is the Ten of Cups. Our happy family, the Sussex squad, might be in that Ten of Cups. The supporters, the quite rabid supporters might be the problem in that Ten of Cups. I meant to say that, I got distracted, I think with other things, losing my voice and stuff like that. Right now, the interest, the focus is on that light bit of royaling, Emperor in reverse, the Queen of Wands out there, getting herself seen, getting herself pepped, getting herself on the front page of the Daily Mail, talked about, all that stuff that she does love, the Ace of Cups. They are upset about this with the King of Cups in reverse. The people around them might have been involved in all of this with the Three of Pentacles in the past, but not them directly. They're clever about this. Same with Scooby-Doo in his books. Never directly involved, indirectly involved by association or involved through third parties and things like that. So they've been clever about it. And I think that is going to save them for now. There is going to be harm, damage to their brand, but this is not the end. So that's the reading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.